What's up, Dennis? Glad to get back to you and get back to training with you. I was a little worried I didn't hear from you for a while, but you still got to it. Glad you hit me up. So let's give you a little rundown. I'm running these video check-ins now. It's been able to help people out a lot more than I feel like the last ones were, so I'm going to keep doing this every single check-in. Okay, we're going to start with your video you sent through. First here we're going to look at your bench. I want you to really think about when you're setting up, rolling your shoulders down and back and squeezing before you lift off. So you're here normally, you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together, really squeezing your back. That's going to put your shoulders in a much better position. And then the other thing too is you see how you bring the bar like forward so your arms are straight up and down. Actually start with it over your nose chin area, so like over your mouth, and then you're coming down to your nipples. So you're kind of in a straight up and down path. Not really straight up and down. You're actually just coming too far forward and then starting too far forward as well. So start a little higher, come a little higher as well. Bar should touch your nipples about, and then just start at your chin. Here you can see your actually bench grip was way too close. This is actually a different kind of lift. This is more for your triceps here. So we're going to lengthen that close grip bench a little bit more to where it's kind of right outside your shoulders so that your elbow should be able to come in right under your wrist. Because now you're kind of forced together like this. We want to be straight up and down with those elbows and wrists. Squat stance. So I didn't know if these were tempo squats or not. They weren't. They were just pause squats. So speed up the descent a little bit and then pause at the bottom. We want to keep that stretch shortening cycle where you're going to actually have more strength when you're going fast on the way down and then blasting up, instead of really being slow going into the hole. Don't just drop down, be in control, but just speed it up a little more than this right here. But yeah, the form looks great. Like, this is, I think, the best we've ever seen you do. Your back's staying completely straight. Your core looks like you're engaged. You're hitting great depth. Your ankle mobility is looking really good. So I think we're seeing great improvements on your squat overall, which is awesome. More range of motion on shoulder press. So we'll skip over there. It's about to come up actually. So you kind of come down not far enough, and I think that's because you're actually limiting yourself because you're bringing your arm in, so you can't go further down. So bring your arm right under your elbow and then keep descending until it gets, you don't want it to be uncomfortable. You want to stay in control but get a good stretch and then press back up. You don't want to stay straight out to the sides either. You want to come about 30 degrees in with your arms. So right there. But good thing you're slow on the way down. That's what you want to do. We just want more range of motion on this press. But besides that, it looks pretty good. Okay, so deadlifts. This was kind of looked a little scary. You're putting a ton of pressure on your lower back here, because you're starting with the bar, as you can see. Here, you're starting with the bar away from your shins. So actually, you want the bar to be directly on your shins when you're going. You want your arms to be outside of your legs, which you can see when we go to the other angle. And then you want to let these hips sink a little lower. So let the hips sink lower. The bar will start straight on your legs, which will help your hips sink a little lower. And then we'll be able to fix this rounded back, because this is putting a ton of pressure on your lower back right here. I'm sure that hurt a little bit as you're doing it. We'll see from that other angle. See how you're rolling that bar in, and it started like here. It should actually be directly on your shins. And then hopefully we won't have to drop the bar on the way down. So then the other thing here, your legs should be much closer together, like literally just normal kind of standing. They're not going to be wider than that. And then your wrists, your hands are going to be outside of your legs actually. You're doing like a frog stance, like sumo deadlift here. And then the other thing we're going to do once we get this form a little better, is make this a pause deadlift. So you're gonna, once you move those legs closer together, hands right outside those knees, you're gonna pause when the bar gets to your knee, and then come straight up. This will help us lighten the load a little bit so we can actually perfect the form before we really push on the weight. But then this will help you be able to like control the weight on the way down. But yeah, so we're going to move those legs together, start with the bar directly on your legs. And I think we're going to see a lot better improvements on this lift. I think that's something we should definitely work on since we're not very good at it right now. You have all this information here, so make sure to check in with this as you keep going in your next program. Going over your training sheet, you used it great. You're really filling in a lot of info. That's great for me and you as well, so you can keep checking in with yourself. One thing, you just went a little fast in your progressions on your squats. You went from 95 pounds to 105, so you should only raise about 5 pounds, because you actually only want to usually jump about 2.5%, but you're actually jumping 5 when you go up 5 pounds. So never jump more than 5 pounds in any of your lifts. Right now, potentially on deadlifts as we get better, but we want to make sure we get the form perfect before we are just pushing on the weight. Squats are looking great though. Just lower the progressions on the lifts. But I think we're going to see some great improvements, especially as we stay consistent through the summer. I don't know how much you're traveling. Yeah, that's basically all I have in there. You were supposed to pause on deadlifts, but we talked about that already. Make sure you use the community Discord. I know our check-ins are only every 4 weeks, so you can just send them in every week on the community Discord. Whenever you have a video you think, I don't know if I'm doing this right, send it in there so we can fix it before the check-in so that you can improve the week to week instead of doing the lifts wrong every single week. So yeah, you said you want to focus more on losing weight, so answer these questions for me. What is your current weight right now? And then we can think about adding more cardio to your training. I highly recommend swimming for cardio. It's one of the best weight loss tools. Full body workout, and you're actually losing a lot of heat through the water, so your body actually has to spend a lot of energy keeping your body warm. So it's a great way to lose weight. We're going to start back up on Wednesday. Highly recommend. So everyone I'm training now, everyone who's new that starts, if they're doing completely online, I have more options now where they check in. I check in with them every 2 weeks, and I believe that's only $120 a month. Or I check in with them every week, which is the $170 a month option. Everyone who's new is starting has to go with one of those options if they are doing just online. And then the one where I check in with them every 4 weeks is for people who are training in person. So I'm not pushing the older clients to move over to one of those new plans because this is where they started, so they can stay there if they want to. But I highly recommend, especially if you don't want to switch over to those new training options, coming in person for that first week of the program, or even for a day, because you can learn so much and perfect that form. Because I bet a lot of the accessory movements you're doing, you actually aren't performing correctly, and you will see much more tremendous progress when we start performing in the right way. So either that or switch over to a weekly or bi-monthly check-in, so we can actually check in with you more often, make sure you're performing right, so we don't do, say, deadlifts wrong every single week. Task for you, make sure you put some more pictures in the athlete intro, because it's been 2 programs since the last check-in, and then decide on whether you're switching to training options or if you want to come in person. Coming in person this week would be great. Summer's here, so this is what I'm doing all summer, is just pursuing this and growing this. We're going to see it get a lot more improved, a lot more professional, so I'm glad you're here for that. So yeah, just let me know what you're thinking, man. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great week. You're killing it. See you.